Hey everybody, welcome back to Bourbon, Banter, Evans. Justin, what are the people in store for today?
Hey, glad you asked, because check out this nice setup of Glencairns, a couple of Buffalo Traces in the middle. We have some standard Buffalo Trace minis. We have a store pick from a local store here in Evans. So that means we're going to do a store pick. So check out this. If you guys have never seen this, this is what your store pick samples come in if you can't make it to the distillery based off of delays or things like that, because they say you're not allowed to go because of shutdowns or anything of that nature. So they send you these sample kits.
Yep.
Then you pick your barrel from there. So this is what the box looks like. Single barrel select, and they send you 3 samples in there, and then you choose from them. So we'll get.
At least this one was 3. Sometimes it could be more, right?
Sometimes it could be 4, yeah. So this is going to be a Buffalo Trace, 3rd installment from picks that I've done in the past. We'll put this box over here. We'll check these out. I'll kick the table.
We'll just make it happen.
Yeah. So they give you all the details on the label as far as what it is. The spirits, whiskey, recipe in this case, which I was pointing out earlier, is kind of unique.
Yeah, it's totally blank. No recipe whatsoever. So we're drinking water.
Yeah, it doesn't say BT1 or BT2. No. We all know that Buffalo Trace is standard BT1.
Yep.
So we can assume, which we shouldn't assume. And then it gives you your location, I, so this is warehouse I.
Warehouse I.
Yep, and then I-740, which has to do with the location and the rig. And then barrel, this is barrel 361. So we got 3 different barrels to choose. So we're going to be the most vocal about doing a barrel pick. We've done several barrel picks before.
Usually very quiet when we're doing the barrel picks. Not much talking, but on this one we're gonna
walk through a little bit of how we would pick a barrel.
Exactly.
And so we're picking this barrel for this particular store. We're going to do the label and everything. This will be Bourbon Banter Evans label for the store.
Yes, it will.
And this is the 3rd installment. This is the Bison Butt Pour.
Which was the 2nd installment, right?
2nd installment. The first one was Bison Extract.
Yes.
This is Bison Butt Pour. And the next one, stay tuned. We'll put the name out eventually. And so we'll go ahead and take this one off the table.
And all of them are great. All of them are great. And guess what? We're hoping we're going to have a good one here. And just one thing to let you know. Honestly, if we don't like any of these, we'll just go ahead and say we don't like them.
We'll default back to the store owner and say it's a pick 'em for you. Just
exactly.
We won't put our name behind it. We'll just say, hey, it wasn't for us.
Right.
Is it good product? Yes, it's still going to be good product. It's Buffalo Trace, but it's just not what we would pick.
We have a certain standard that we would like to keep with, and that's what we try to do.
And so we're going to go in order of the barrel numbers. So we'll turn them back around after we pour them, and so we do have some kids in the background. If you hear that, that's completely fine.
Yep. So first one we have is going to be 138.
138. So that is got 'em right here. Yep. So barrel 138, then we have barrel 316, and then barrel 361. And so what we'll do is we'll go through, we'll try them, we'll kind of talk about our process and how we determine what we're picking, go from there. And then also our control for today is standard Buffalo Trace. So not our control.
No.
This a standard control to compare it to standard Buffalo Trace to see how one single barrel would slightly differ or majorly differ as Bison Extract did.
And one more thing to note out, that these have actually been already cut down. They are not straight out of the barrel. They are out of the barrel, but they've been cut down to proof.
Right, they've been proofed down. They proof them down for you when they send them now. It cuts down, I guess, on time, and or they look at it as less hands in the cookie jar.
Yeah.
So to say, if you want to call it that.
So we usually, if we do a pick, we get it right straight. We'll
straight out of the barrel.
Thief it right out of the barrel. And then after that, what we have to do is we'll have to add some water to it, just to see what we can get it down to proofing. And so this one, they do it for us, so here we go.
Yeah, so we'll go in order. Sorry about leaving the camera there for a second.
Oh, no problem.
Uncut, unfiltered.
Yes, indeed.
So we're going to go in order of number of barrel, that way we know. So that's 138.
Yep.
This will be barrel...
And I'm going left to right, you're going left to right?
316, so 316 will be in the middle. Oh, one more thing we should mention. College football.
Yes.
This is Saturday. I'm repping Tennessee. Go Vols.
And LSU, of course.
Go Tigers.
And guess what? I mean, if you look at them, they're number 5, number 6.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting how the whole committee does.
Yeah. Now, so we'll go through the process of picking this out, and then if we need more, we have more to choose from in the actual samples. And that way, if we narrow it down to 2, which is normally what we like to do to really go back and forth, we can go back and revisit.
Exactly.
So generally, when I go through a barrel sampling or picking a barrel, which in this case is a sampling, the other one is actually thieving from the barrel, which we talked about. I like to do a 3-sip process on each one.
Right.
Yeah, and then I'll go to a lightning round or something like that. But so I like to then narrow down the first one that I don't think is going to make it.
Yep, and I'm the same
Get
way.
rid of that one. So it's easier to choose from 2 than it is to choose from 3. But then again, we've chose from 5 to make it as difficult as possible. So that gets really exciting as well. So we'll talk more on this barrel pick than we ever have. Like I said, Charles said it, not me. We're usually very silent, which is very true.
Yes.
It's usually completely quiet. We're keeping our notes to ourselves. So we're actually going to write the notes down of what we think. We're going to kind of notify you guys what we think so you guys can look forward to the barrel when it gets bottled and when the bottle's in production to be sold to the store, to the public.
Yep, exactly. So what do you think?
So what do you have wrote in your notes? I always go NPF for nose, palate, finish.
So I do a little different. I've got the barrels down, and then I just kind of make my own notes as far as what I see. And what I do a little bit differently is I'll try all 3 of them. And then usually from the first sip, if I have to revisit second sip, and then that's kind of where I usually make my first elimination.
Okay,
so
cool. So that's the cool thing about doing barrel picks. Nobody does it wrong. Everybody does it your own way.
Exactly.
I do it a specific way. He does it a specific way. You probably do it a specific way, which I just said specific.
Uncut, unfiltered.
Yeah, so I go through and nose first. So I'm going to go through and nose them all, and then I'll make some notes on the nose. And then we'll discuss, usually this is when we be quiet, but it'd be kind of a less entertaining or boring.
Yeah, if we're just sitting here and you're just in quiet.
Yeah. Just like BT1 normally would be off the nose, this has got a little bit of a sweetness to it.
It does. I agree. I'm definitely getting the sweetness on it.
Not much ethanol. This is kind of, it's not what I would call flat. And one of the things in the past of picking barrels, I love
flat.
a flat nose.
Yes.
If it's flat, generally it tastes amazing.
But no, I mean, I literally could bury my nose in this, and I'm not getting much ethanol.
No ethanol. So I'm going to make a notation of that just on the nose on that one. So it's going to be like no ethanol on that one. Very mild. And it's going to be a kind of a sweet nose.
Yeah, so my notes will be sweet and no ethanol.
And yes, I do encourage taking notes during this because I have done this without doing notes, but it's easier to go back and read your notes than just keep it all on your compartmentalized
Especially when you're
memory.
doing 5.
Yeah, when you're doing 5, you definitely like notes. Oh, okay, so I'm getting, this definitely has more ethanol than the first one, but it's a little brighter.
Yeah. And
we've talked about this before too. Same thing. We're doing Glencairns for this, which is generally what you're picking out of when you go to the distillery.
Helps focus that.
Yeah, it definitely is a nosing glass. And then also we're generally cracking our mouths like we talked about with nosing because you got to get your entire olfactory. And you'll notice we'll probably go back and forth because your brain reads the opposite of your nostril. So you're going to get a different nose going this way. Then when you roll it, going that way. Now
I'm getting more for me. I'm getting more vanillas, and then I am like the sweeters. So
then another thing you can do sweeters. Yeah, you can just actually do like this.
Yep. Kind of clog.
Yep. Close it off, and then you're actually going to get the register. Like it's going to register on the opposite side. And you get 2 different noses. Yeah, this does not necessarily have that like sweeter caramel, but almost like a vanilla.
Yeah,
not vanilla and vanilla sweet.
No, like that vanilla smell, like a vanilla extract smell.
Like,
yeah. And but like on the first one, I got more of the what we always like to say the dark fruits.
Yes.
That sweet dark fruits. But more ethanol, definitely a little bit more ethanol. Not where it's going to blow your nose out.
No, nothing like that. Just more than the first one.
Exactly.
All right, so now I'm nosing the third one.
Yep, me too.
Ooh, flat.
Very flat.
Not much going on there.
No, it's not. No, I'm almost getting no ethanol.
Almost nothing.
Yeah.
It's almost nothing that stands out really in a.
And that's what I'm. And if you're looking, I'm really looking for a smell. But it's for me, it's like you said.
It's real flat. It's just like, okay, it smells like bourbon. It doesn't smell like anything. It's not like an overwhelming character here or cherries there or vanilla or caramel, which I don't get into details like that generally. I just get into the simple, basic ones that make sense that most people.
What was it? Shoe leather and all that other stuff.
Yeah, shoe leather, anise, which sometimes you can taste licorice.
Oh yeah. So that's got me intrigued. That's got me intrigued. I'm getting so I'm having to tilt it up. Yeah. I'm getting a little bit more. I'm getting more kind of that. For me, I'm getting if I tilt it. Yeah, caramel vanilla.
Caramel vanilla, maybe.
Yeah.
But for the most part, that would be in the line of looking in the world of flat.
Yes. But no ethanol on the nose whatsoever.
All right, so now after doing that, I'm kind of intrigued. Let's crack open these controls.
Yep.
And now I want to know what these smell. How do you start your Saturday football? 4 ounces of Buffalo Trace.
Let's do it.
Huh. I mean, it's completely different. But
I'm getting ethanol. Not a lot, but I am getting ethanol.
Not a lot. It's a little bit of the sweeter. A little bit of sweet ethanol, maybe. Okay. So now the fun part. Now we get to start trying. So now we're going to go, this is the part where I go palate, and I'm going to go a 3-sip process, water, 3-sip process, water.
Yep.
And then so to start this, I'll go water, so that I have water between each one. That way your palate is fresh, clean going into it. And if water is going to interact with these, that's completely normal. You want water on the first one, second one, and a third one, not to start it without one.
Right.
And that would be to keep it as fair as possible in my head when it comes to kind of being nerdy when picking a barrel.
Of course. I mean, you want to clean that palate.
And since we're doing this, I might shorten and just do 2 sips too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, good thing is we've got as much time as we want. All right, I'm going back to barrel. This is 138.
138. Yep, barrel 138. So of course we're keeping it in order left to right for us. That way we know it might be backwards on camera.
Mm-hmm.
You know. That one's not as exciting on the first sip. It is a little sweet, but that's about it.
But it was flat.
So then it rolls back on the second sip, rolls back, and then it comes back forward and leaves a little bit of spice in the forward part of the tongue.
Yep, I'm getting it.
And then kind of dries up in the middle of the tongue.
But the finish is just...
It kind of falls off.
Yeah.
So I would almost call that like it's not negative in a negative world. Like it's like, oh, it's just negative to me as far as it's not a positive finish. It's not a bad finish. It's just negative.
To me, it's very...
So I would draw a line is what I would do.
To me, it's very unassuming.
Yeah. And in the palate, I would call that kind of bland, neutral.
Yes. I think that's a great word, neutral. Because it's not bad.
No,
it's just
that's what makes this exciting. Is you're trying, 3 different barrels from 3 different locations, and we should have said this. There is a couple, or at least one from Warehouse I, which Warehouse I puts out some incredible barrels.
And if I remember correctly,
is this one?
Yep.
361 is Warehouse I.
And what's interesting is, what do we say?
And 316.
So we've got these 2.
This is Warehouse P. So we just tried a Warehouse P.
I'm going to be curious. The one I'm very curious about, and I'm not looking. I'm very curious about these 2.
Yeah. Okay, start off the middle.
All right. Oh, and one thing we forgot to do. Cheers.
Oh, cheers. That's right. Hey, cheers to you guys.
Cheers to you guys.
Thank you for watching.
Like, subscribe, give us a comment down there. Actually, let us know what do you think.
Yeah.
Do you kind of follow, if you've done a barrel pick, do you follow the same process? If not, tell us what kind of nuances you have.
And if you're interested and if it's available, reach out and let us know if you want to be involved in a barrel pick.
Exactly.
Because if we get a chance, we don't have a problem with having others.
Heck no, not at all. All right, again.
That's definitely, that one to me on the first sip is better than the first one.
Yes.
This has got a sweeter up front that's more apparent in the flavor, so it gives me something to look forward to. Now I'm waiting for that finish.
There's actually something there.
Yeah.
And what I like. Now, second one, this is where, second and third, really your third is where you're really going to get, I think, you're going to get most of your flavor from.
See, it fell off on the second sip though. The first one was really nice. That could have been the water influence from, just the residual. The second one fell off. It gives me a little bit more of a twinge. It has more of a spice that's staying way forward.
It's staying way forward.
That's got a good bit of spice on it. And the finish is bringing more of that spice to it.
Almost feels like a younger.
Yeah, spice. I'm going to say spice forward just because it's on the forward part of the palate.
And
rolling back, you get a little bit of a twinge. That's the twinge I was talking about.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go twinge. But that first sip after water was really nice.
It was good. It was.
It really opened that sweetness up, which makes me really excited for the lightning round. Now, what I call the lightning round is when I narrow it down, and then I go bam, 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 and I don't do any water in between. It's just going straight back and forth. I'll go nose to nose, and then glass to glass, and then that's where you get a difference. That one is leaving a very...
I'm not...
On the tongue, very...
It's kind of... I'm tingling.
It's tingling. Yeah, it's lingering, and it's not going away.
No, it's not.
Now that finish is still going, I'm going to go linger on that one.
And I'm still getting that in the throat, too.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to pan out so well on that one.
That one is very... It's almost like rye content for some reason on that one is higher.
We don't know what
it is. I know.
Man.
What are the chances some of these are BT1 and BT2?
Probably not. It's very possible, though, because, I've had a BT2 Eagle Rare and a BT2 Taylor. Yeah. And a BT1 Blends. So it can be done.
Yeah.
So let us guys know that. Again, cheers. Thank you guys for joining and watching. What do you guys prefer in the Buffalo Trace line? You like BT1 or BT2? Would you rather pick a Buffalo, a Taylor? Would you rather pick a Stag? Would you rather pick a Weller? What barrels would you guys rather pick if you had an opportunity? Not saying we get a chance to buy it. We all know this stuff is limited. But what would be cool to you to join in?
What's your favorite?
To pick.
Yeah. What's your favorite? What if you could pick any of those in the Buffalo Trace side? What would you want to do? I mean, we'd all love to go to a Pappy.
Oh, that's not happening.
Not happening, but.
So cheers again. Thank you guys.
Cheers. Like and subscribe. Cheers.
All right, here we go. Round 3. Barrel number 361. Flat nose.
Yes, it is. Ooh, that one's more
sweet cooling effect.
But it's more in the middle. I got it.
Yeah, it's
got it.
That's nice.
I got it in the middle.
The finish kind of dissipates.
It does.
Then it goes away, and it kind of makes me thirsty. It makes me almost want to come back. So now I look forward to this second sip.
And so I've got it right still, kind of in the center of my tongue. And after tasting that, you smell it. Now it seems to be bringing out a little bit more of the.
Oh, that second one.
Is it?
Then it kind of sits and has that. Yes, I am bourbon, but now I have flavor that kind of sits in the middle, and I don't get that forward tip of spice.
No, I'm not getting spice. Oh, but
No.
the finish.
Yeah, it's
Now
starting to really
that,
build, and it's kind of got that little pop going for it.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So this right off the rip is the better finish. So without
Finish
even going side by side, I'll keep my notes to my head.
Me too.
I know exactly where I would go without finishing the process.
No.
So we didn't finish the process. I know exactly where I'd go, but I've been doing BT1 picks for a long time though. I got a little bit of experience.
I'll tell you what though, that one, it's still
flavor,
and I want more.
Yeah,
I want
it's making
more.
me thirsty,
Yes.
which makes me want more.
Yep.
It's got the flat nose that I like. Flavor,
Finish is
flavor
awesome.
forward.
Yes,
and
finish.
Nice long flavor finish, because that's what it is.
Yes.
It's a long flavor finish. It just stays there, builds. It makes you want more. It doesn't dry you out too much to where you're kind of like the tannins kick over and you're like, okay, this is that over wood, but it makes you want more thirsty wise because it tastes good.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because it's like drawing you up from.
So what are you going to do now? You do lightning round?
I'm gonna clean the palate.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna go. On this one, I'm not gonna go lightning round. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go try to narrow one down right off the rip.
Well,
So I'll do one sip of each.
yeah, I'm going to do one sip, but I can already tell you which one I'm going to eliminate.
I already know which one I'm gonna eliminate.
Yeah. But I'm with you. I want to try, but you know what? Now I'm going to try them. I'm going to try them. Now I'm going to just keep trying them in order. That way we stay.
Yeah, well, lightning round goes out of order. I do whatever I'm thinking. So I'll do one sip water, one sip water, one sip water, and go. Because that can actually change drastically too. Because water is going to play a vital role in this. So we could actually drop water in this if you wanted to. You could put ice in it if you wanted to. It just depends on however you drink it. But generally, when doing barrel picks, we like straight character of the whiskey.
Yep.
So that one, going back to that one, that one's kind of lacking, to be honest with you.
It is. It's a little flat. Still getting
That spice, but with that water, it makes it sweet, so it's like a sweet spice. So I'm gonna go sweet spice.
But I'm still getting it. It's still lingering at the tip.
Oh, yeah, it's not going away.
No, it's not going away.
And from round one, the most intriguing one.
Yes. Yeah, that finish is still so good.
No, man, it's just got a.
Yeah.
Nice on that one. I'm gonna put nice on that one because that one's nice.
All right.
It's treating me nice. Now, what I'm gonna do, Charles.
Yep.
Let's go rogue.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go rogue. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try standard buffalo.
I'm good.
Then I'm gonna narrow it down to the two that I want. Now I'm gonna go ahead and share my opinions. I have kicked off.
I've kicked off this one.
I've kicked off that one. Warehouse Pete, if I remember correctly, you have been voted off the island.
And so what I've done
or
is...
the round table. Voted off the round table.
Yeah, and so what I've done is actually different. I went with this one. This is the one I kicked off right now.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Because to me, I'm not used to the spice with the Buffalo Trace.
Yeah. And so,
which is not a bad thing because you're looking for something to be a little bit unique, you know. But in my theory, I know where I'm going with it. So.
Sure. No, that's completely fine.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this exciting is because it's the overall consensus opinion of the group that's doing it, or if there's a lead person and he's just wanting influence and opinions, which I've done in the past as well. So he's kicking off. I'm kicking off 1. He's kicking off 2.
Yep. So the reason why, and I like 1, but guess what? To me, it's just. It's lacking character to me.
It is.
All right.
And so now I'm gonna go regular Buffalo right now, and then I'm gonna go into the 2 that I've narrowed it down to, and then we're gonna see
what we come up with. Yeah.
After trying these single barrels and nosing them and then nosing this is very unassuming.
I know.
Yeah.
And I always thought it actually had when you're not drinking it a lot, it has a pretty good. I mean, but it's
got more ethanol when you like the finish and when it rolls back. This has a little bit of heat going compared to these single barrels, which is really unique when it comes with 1 barrel that outshines a batch.
Ooh, yeah, you're right.
It brings that heat kind of.
Oh, I'm getting it on the sides. Are you getting a little spice on the side?
In the pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. So, by the way, this is the control standard Buffalo Trace. It's just minis.
Right here. Yep.
If you do a barrel pick, if you get a chance to, they're super fun. Definitely be involved. They're great times. What I do, and we talked about this right before we started filming. So we've been known for doing 1792.
Yes.
So for that week leading up to it, we have a tendency to drink 1792, so that our palate is accustomed to that mash and that flavor and those barrels. And then when it goes to that pick, then we're kind of prepared for what's about to happen.
Yeah.
So what we did was we decided to bring out regular Buffalo. We did the previous barrel pick that we did before we started filming to get our palates ready. And so I'm not saying that I recommend hammering down a bunch of bourbon before you do a pick. Your palate will be blurred. But if you do small pours to get your palate adjusted and ready, that way it's just not a punch of mouth of whiskey.
I mean, because if you had something totally different the day before, you were used to drinking that. If it was a Taylor or anything of whatever. Nose Mill or
bleed over.
Yeah.
So.
And so you really, for us, I was like, hey, Justin, let's do it. And he's like, no, great idea. So it's just a good way to understand what the regular product is and then see the nuances.
And then see the differences that it can be based off of a batch mass produced to a barrel.
Right.
Just 1 barrel. Okay. So I'm not going in water at this point. This is what I call the lightning round. So I go straight from my control. That's more drying than these are after having it.
It is. Ooh.
So now I'm going to go straight into the ones that I've picked out to narrow it down. Lightning round, I'm going to nose them side by side, which is the fun thing about blends, because you can do this like this right here.
Yep.
And then you can do this right here.
Now, what's funny to me is
I got more fruit that time, so
Yes.
I'm going to have to come back to it and be like, what did I just do?
And see, I put them back. I put the one I put out. I put it back in.
Oh, did you put it back in?
Yep. I just put it back in just to try it.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm 100% on mine. It's going to be one of these 2 if it was just my sole decision, but this is a Bourbon Banter Evans decision, so it could come down to a voting, which there's 2.
I don't think
50-50 coin flip at that point.
I don't think we're gonna have a problem there.
Okay, so I know what wins it on the nose.
I do too.
All right, now lightning round for taste. That spice does not go away. For the one that I picked, it makes me want to go back. I'm going to do that one third. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to reverse this line. Reversing the line to me is literally taking the one I got rid of, and I'm going to try it after trying the other ones. Yeah. This kills it because it's flat. It's so nice. So I know what I would go with. I'm solidifying that as far as that goes. Now I'm going to come back to the one that I kicked out. Charles, how's your going rogue going? Cheers, by the way. Thank you guys again.
Yep. Like and subscribe, guys. I know which one I want. It's weird now after they all have...
After putting that one behind it?
Yes. I would agree with you. After going rogue, one is...
Yeah.
One is... so if you look at it,
this is a no-brainer.
That's a
dude.
no-brainer.
It's to me,
this one right
I knew it right off the rip.
I did
You
too.
know, yeah, that's a good barrel.
That's a good barrel.
That's a good barrel. So Bourbon Banter Evans presents the Bourbon Banter Evans Buffalo Trace Pick is
361.
361 Warehouse Eye, which I'm super stoked about that we got some Warehouse Eyes.
I know.
This is a winner chicken dinner. Let me circle.
And guess what? What's funny is 1792s, we've actually been split on majority of them. We did a Watkins pick. We were all dead on that one.
Yeah.
This one, same thing,
Yeah.
dead on.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen often, but what I like about it is I eliminated number 2, this one first. You eliminated this one. I revisited. I agree with you. This one is better after revisiting after the control.
Yeah. When you move that one around and hit the control, that one shines.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah.
This is gonna be a banger as far as a good, good drinking, good daily sipper, or you could probably make some good cocktails with it as well. But as far as just drinking, I'm going. If you do a splash of water, so
Clearing it.
clear the palate, then swish around, get a little bit of water in the mouth, and then take a sip of this.
Oh,
this
God,
makes this so good. So if you did this over a small ice cube, like a heavy pour, and let it dissolve, this was going to be killer.
But you know what's funny? I think you and I both had it after the first sip, first go around, the first round, where I already knew.
I knew it off the yeah. I didn't have to go through what we did, but it's fun to make sure we experiment with everything possible. Golly, with water,
Ooh,
that's gonna be crushable.
Oh God,
That's gonna be
so dang smooth.
Yes, and I hate using that word, but that's the truth.
It is, but you know what's gonna be fun? So what we need to do, possible other video, get our 3 Buffalo Trace picks.
Oh yeah, side by side.
I think I know which one. I think I know which one's gonna. It's
This
a
one
no-brainer.
versus Bison Butt Pork could have a fun time.
Yeah.
But versus Bison Extract's gonna decimate everything.
I mean, Mini Taylor.
Yeah. It has beaten Taylors and blinds.
It has.
Yeah. So I mean, that was on a different level as far as that goes. So I think cheers to you guys.
Cheers.
Cheers, Charles. Thanks for doing this.
No, it's been great.
This is gonna be the one we're going with, and I'm gonna finish this off because it's mighty tasty.
I am too. And guess what? Keep looking out. Like and subscribe. Please let us know what you think, and we'll let you know about the first Bourbon Banter Evans store pick.
Yes, and we'll definitely be putting out when the Bourbon Banter Evans store pick comes out. The delay is heavy, so it'll be a while. This one is, if I remember doing the math correctly, around an 8 year, or right at it, because it's 14, H15, so the 15th day of the H month of the 14th year. So it should be,
God bless you.
Should be an 8 year as far as that goes.
Right.
The only downside of that is we know the production is backed up, so we're going to try to get this turnaround as quick as possible. We're going to submit the label, get everything done.
Yep.
It's going to be a fun one. So Bourbon Banter Evans produces their first BT1, which is finally completing my trifecta, the 3 barrels that were sent to that store. And this is gonna be a good one, so I would say look out for this one in the Evans, and it'll be a fun time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's been fun, and I'm looking forward to hopefully doing a lot more of these.
Yep. And so I'm gonna cheers with the control. So,
cheers.
Thank you guys.